How y'all feeling? My name is Kenny Beats here at Nappy Boy Studios on the Red Bull Remix Lab, and I want to answer a couple questions from a LA-based producer named NK Riot. First thing he said was, what was the very first DAW you started using when you first decided to become a producer? The first thing I used was a demo version of Fruity Loops at my house that was free, and I used GarageBand at the media center of my high school. So when people try to tell me, oh, I can't afford this, can't afford that, I was making beats at my school media center and then for free at home on the home computer that my family shared. If you want to make it work, you can make it work with anything. I'm on Ableton now, I use Logic. It's really just about what feels good to you. So there's a whole bunch of different options out there, but you got to just try everything to know, I think. NK Riots also asked, what is your favorite and most inspiring album that changed your life as a producer? For me, it was Hell Hath No Fury by the Clipse, which was produced mostly entirely by the Neptunes. I have it framed in my house for no reason. I just look at it every day. It really just made me feel like the projects that impact people the most have to be done with a group of people all working on it from top to bottom, and hearing a lot of stuff now where you hear a different producer in every song made in a different city every day, it doesn't hold together the same. So I try to put that into my work. When you see me do stuff with Vince or with Rico or with Key or with Freddie or All Black or whoever it is, I'm always trying to make sure that the whole project has an arc to it. Everything feels like it all fits together. Hell Hath No Fury really inspired me to work that way. I recently finished post-production sound design on a film. Would you ever consider creating soundscapes and atmosphere to accompany soundtracks on a film? I have thought about it. I feel like that's a super far down the line thing when you're a producer. I feel like once you've mastered being in a room with an artist, once you've mastered all these different types of tasks you get given in the position I'm in, I feel like that's kind of like when you're in your 40s and 50s and you have time to just expand and do the craziest things you can and work in the studio for 3 months and figure out new textures. Like, that's when I'll get to it. I got so much to say right now with the music. It's not really on my front focus, but seeing people like Trent Reznor do The Social Network, or just certain Coen Brothers scores and Scorsese scores like really inspire me. And so there will be a time when I hopefully venture into that, just not yet. Do you usually do everything in the box, or do you use outboard gear for mixing, mastering? Do you mix in mono? I won't lie, like today in the Remix Lab, you can see we can do a whole song from scratch with vocals, with all these instruments and everything right in the box. It doesn't sound any better or worse necessarily, but I've slowly, as I've gotten a little bit more money in my bank account and a little more info from engineers and people I know, I've started to implement compressors here and there, a preamp here and there, a nicer microphone, little things, but go as you can, you know what I mean? Make sure bills are paid first before you start spending money on gear and everything else. You can do a lot with a little, and that's what most people have taught me. Like, my favorite guitar player sends me loops through an iPhone, and I give those to the biggest people I work with. It's really just about a feeling. So for me, honestly, using outboard gear is a bonus. If you can use it, if you're fortunate enough to have it around, use it. And mixing in mono, mixed by Ali, who does a lot of Kendrick stuff, a whole lot of other people's stuff, he showed me that mixing in mono kind of lets you get a really clear sense of where all the levels are in a beat or in a song or whatever. So I'd say try it. It's one button you can put on in any program and just make everything sit in the center and hear like, oh, maybe my drums are too loud, da, 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 da. As soon as everything gets stuck all in one area, it's really easy to see. So yeah, outboard gear, sometimes mixing in mono, definitely try it. NK Riots, thank you so much for these questions, guys. Y'all can hit me on @KennyBeats on everything. Rebel, thank you for having me. T-Pain, thank you for having me.
Backpage, dude.
I'm out. Appreciate y'all.